Here's how you stand out from your competitors on YouTube. The short answer is to either be the first, to be the best, or be different. In this video, I'll share with you this flowchart, and I'll share with you creators who have utilized each of these techniques. And lastly, I'll share with you how this strategy applies not only to the macro in terms of your overall niche, but in terms of each specific video you produce as well. So let's get started with this flowchart. So the way I like to think about it is, in terms of niche, is there an existing market? If there is, then how can I be the best in the existing market? If I can't be the best, how can I at least be different? Now, an example of someone who is the best would be, say, Alex Ramosi, the best businessman content creator on the platform YouTube. And often being the best requires evidence. So either you have to have the best stats if you play a sport, or if you're an entrepreneur, you need to make a certain amount of revenue. Often being the best requires evidence and is often quite competitive. So being the best is often difficult, especially if you're just starting out. If you're the best, you often know you're the best. Now, if you can't be the best, the alternative is to be different. And I've managed to think of two ways that we can be different. The first way is to combine aspects of two different industries together until we are no longer the norm. We are different in some way. For example, the life of Reza. If you don't know the life of Reza, she makes cinematic videos about the struggles we face in our 20s. And making videos about the struggles we face in our 20s isn't new, and cinematic videos on YouTube isn't new. However, combining the ideas in her unique way makes that unique, and it hasn't been seen before on YouTube. So she has built herself this new market, so she's different. The alternative to combining a few different industries together is to just focus on a very small subset of a market. For example, if we look at this flowchart, we can separate life into one of these three categories: health, wealth, relationships. Wealth can be further separated into many things. Let's just pick two: entrepreneurship and investing. Entrepreneurship can be separated into many business models. Let's just choose SMMA and content creation. And content creation can be further separated into many different components. But we could go super niche and make YouTube tutorials for real estate agents, or how to grow a YouTube channel for real estate agents. That's super niche, right? But it's under the umbrella of content creation, and that's nothing new. But being super niche is different, and that's another way how we can be different. So those are the two ways we can be different: by combining a few different industries together, remixing ideas, or focusing on a very small subset of the market. So we can either be the best or different if a market already exists. Now, if there isn't already a pre-existing market, we'll be the first. Now, usually, since YouTube is already full of content, this is usually going to be in a very obscure niche. So content wouldn't have already been produced in this niche. Now, often, for me at least, when I want to solve a problem, I just go YouTube, type up the problem I have, and there'll be a solution. Now, if you're the first person to make content on this topic on YouTube, there wouldn't be videos that you can reference. So often you'd have to solve that problem for yourself first. And then once you've solved that problem for yourself, then you can make content about it. And usually, since there is no proof of concept, it hasn't been done before, you don't know if there's a market for it. There might be, because you probably would have wanted tutorials on it, but you might be uncommon, and it might be more risky in general. From my experience, it either flops or does extremely well. So you could be the first. Now, an example of this is Joey Edits. So CapCut tutorials on Mac and PC wasn't that popular on YouTube. However, Joey Edits came along and he made tutorials on how you can edit like your favorite YouTubers. And it did really well. A lot of them did, because it was a market that needed to be filled. And Joey Edits managed to make these tutorials about CapCut on your Mac and PC. Well, just PC. So, yeah, it was a new editing software that came out. He was one of the first people to make great tutorials on that topic. So, props to Joey Edits. And the risk paid off. Now, that was on the macro level in terms of niche, but this can also apply to the micro level in terms of each individual video. So let's go back to how we can be the best. So if there's an existing market for the video we want to create, how can we be the best? So to be the best in terms of a specific video often requires credentials. So if I search up how to shoot a basketball, we got Kobe Bryant here giving a free lesson, rest in peace. And then also we have a video by Splash Lab talking about Stephen Curry's shooting form. So they leveraged Steph Curry, who, you know, is one of the best shooters of all time. If you disagree, you can argue with me in the comments. But they leveraged Steph Curry's brand to gain the views there. And this video did well as well, where Klay Thompson described how to shoot. So overall, again, if you want to make a video about being the best, it often requires evidence. And notice how Splash Lab just leveraged somebody else's competence in order to leverage being the best. Like, you outsource it by talking about someone who is actually the best rather than being the best yourself. All right. Now, in terms of a video, instead of being the best, we can be different instead. And this is a video I posted on my channel, and I think one of the reasons why this video did well was because it was a hot topic. But besides that, typing faster, a lot of people were super quick when it came to typing faster. They went from, say, 40 words per minute to 120, or like a crazy speed. That was not very relatable. I wasn't that crazy. I went from like 30 to 70 words per minute, which isn't too crazy, and it was more relatable. So it targeted a smaller subset of the overall broad market. So it was very low down in terms of niche, typing faster for average Joe. And that was why I think this video did well on my channel. So yeah, it was different. It targeted a very small subset of the market. All right, and in terms of being the first, if there isn't a pre-existing market, so this was a tutorial I made, how to create one-word captions on CapCut on Mac and PC. I didn't know how to do it, and I really wanted to know how to do it, so I figured out how to do it myself, and then I made a tutorial about it, and it did well in comparison to my other CapCut tutorials. So I was the first one to make a video on how to create one-word captions on CapCut on your Mac and PC. So the cool thing about videos in terms of being best, different, or first is that you can try to make videos that are the first of its kind. You can make videos that are different, and you can try to make videos that are the best, which is a bit harder. But you can toggle between each of these three categories. Whereas when you're picking your niche and on the macro level, you kind of have to pick one and go with that. All right. So yeah, macro level, this applies to your broad overall niche, and micro level, each individual video. So that's how you stand out from your competition on YouTube. Overall, is there an existing market? Yes. Then be the best or different. If there isn't, then you're the first. All right. Thanks for watching. My name is Junius. For more strategy videos like this, feel free to check out my playlist. I help people make and strategize educational content, so that's what I do on YouTube. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.